Everybody can hear you now.
Hi, everyone.
You know who doesn't have to deal with this stuff? Steve Wozniak.
Really?
And thank God.
For the Woz?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Steve Jobs has passed away. So you're Steve Jobs and I'm Wozniak.
Wow. That took a dark and unexpected turn.
Well, you didn't pick up on it at first.
No, I didn't.
So
I didn't.
I got to update the list.
Okay.
Because we're not talking interview.
No, that's true. We're going to talk about the Goodreads Choice Awards, and we made Kate join us.
We did. It was definitely a made situation.
Yeah.
Some people joke like, we forced her onto the mic, but
Yeah, we did. Earlier, I was like, "Okay, when do you want? Well, when can you record with us?"
Yeah, because I'd have found that loophole.
I know you would have. I know.
Yeah.
If there was a loophole to be found.
Yep.
Are you ready to podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dear Steve Wozniak, good for you.
Does he have like an advice column now?
Yeah. Actually, I don't like that I made you Steve Jobs in this situation either. Everybody
No,
likes
you
Steve
did.
Jobs.
I
But I
know.
get played by Seth Rogen in the movie.
I know.
Oh, you get played by Michael Fassbender. You're part of the Benderverse.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
The Fastverse? What would you call it?
I don't know what's happening now, but I know I don't like it.
Welcome to episode 173 of the All the Books Show, recorded at the David A. Howe Public Library, where we talk book news, author news, and literary news. I'm Eric Mickles.
I'm Nick Gunning, and joining us for the fourth time,
It's Kate Miller.
the children's librarian.
That was the most peppy she's ever been on the show.
It was. Yeah, it's going to be a good episode. I can feel it. As we were just telling the Twitch stream, we forced Kate to be on this episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she's here under duress,
Yeah.
but she's going to play ball.
I like my job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kate likes her job, everyone.
Yep.
That's great. All right. Well, we're going to be talking about the Goodreads Choice Awards.
Woo!
It happens every year, and if you're not familiar with them, where have you been? Because we've been talking about it a lot. But basically, this is just a chance for readers to vote on their favorite book. So unlike something like the National Book Award that has a panel of judges, this is just based on what people are reading and what people are liking. So
This
People's
is,
Choice Awards
the
for the books.
MTV Movie Awards in book form.
Yeah.
So
Except
Will Smith
people,
will be stopping
people
by.
pay attention to this.
Oh.
So it's a little different.
Yeah.
It's
When's the
a
last time you watched the
little
MTV
different.
Movie Awards?
Is never an option because that would be the last
Kate,
time.
I know you'll have me on this one.
Probably like 2005, senior year.
That's not bad.
Probably.
Yeah, she was watching it longer
That's
than I
not
was.
bad. Senior year of what? Is that when you graduated high school?
High school, yeah.
Okay. I graduated college in 2005.
There you go. See? Hey, we have that in common. at
I
least.
guess. We
There
both
you go.
had we both were wearing caps and
graduated.
gowns
There you go.
2005.
I started dating in 2005.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. How did that go?
Fine.
Okay. All right. So okay.
That's it.
Highs and lows. All
How
right.
did dating go in general?
I'm just curious.
It's rough.
How you did as a single guy out there
Oh,
on
no.
the prowl. You
Yeah.
don't want to get into
On
your
the prowl?
Do you want to get into your dating history on the podcast or
Look, I know people
not
are
today?
very excited to hear about this.
They are.
About how 19-year-old Eric Mickles started dating for the
Yeah.
first time after dropping out of high school.
Yeah.
But you'll have to wait for the tell-all.
I guess so.
So-
Yeah, I'm anxious to read it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we get into the Goodreads Choice Awards, let's open up our old books, check out the bookmarks, and see what we've been reading.
Yeah.
I think Kate is our guest. Why don't you go first? Tell us what you've been up to.
All right. I am currently trudging through Sarah J. Maas's newest book, The Kingdom of Ash.
Trudging, you say?
It is a 1,000-page book.
Wow.
980 pages, and I'm on like 830. It's taken me over a month to get this far.
And that far in, you're still not into it?
It's just it's a lot of war. It's
Okay.
very slow moving,
Is
and it's
okay.
I'm kind of hoping it's the last book in the series
Is-
at this point. Even though I think it won the young adult fantasy
Yeah, probably.
pick for the Goodreads
Probably.
choice.
Spoiler
But
alert.
yeah, well, hey. Oops,
So, are you a fan of her otherwise?
yeah, I
And
like
this,
her books.
And this book just
This
is
one-
taking a dive for you.
I think it could have been broken up into at least 2 books.
Oh, okay.
And so it's been a marathon.
Well, do you think that the book is just too long, or do you think that it's poorly paced? Like, should it have
Honestly,
been one
feels
shorter book?
like either she should have edited a lot
Okay.
or changed it into 2 separit books and just released them one after the other.
I
Put
see.
a little more detail, a little more
Yeah.
character and growth into
Okay.
each one. It almost feels like she's just like at a push
This
to
is
finish
everything.
the
Just get it
series.
all out.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So, Kingdom of Ash. Anything else?
I'm reading The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe to my kids.
Oh.
Before bed
First
every
time for
night.
your kids?
Yes, first time for my kids. I can't even tell you how many times I've read it.
Mm.
But yes, first time for them. And I'm reading Melonhead and the We Fix It Company
What is
by,
that?
I think it was Katie Kelly. Yes. It's just a juvenile book. It's not very well written, but it's funny.
Why are you reading this?
To my daughter.
Oh, just for your daughter. Okay.
Yep. Every now and then we pick out a book. We read a Nancy Drew a while ago. We've read a
that's
few
fun.
of those, and she picked this one out, and we're trying it. It's funny. A couple of kind of screw up kids are always getting into situations, and now they're trying not to get into any situations, and it's kind of funny. They're trying to fix things.
I find with things like that, especially when you're reading it out loud, it forces you to like hear every word. Whereas if you're just reading it to yourself, you're kind of skipping over things and you're kind of like glazing over the bad parts. But saying every word, you're like, oh, yowzer.
And this one's really bad because for some reason, every time that a character is speaking, it ends with he said. She said. There's no mix up. There's no, different way of phrasing that. No, it's he said. She said.
Robert Parker does that, but in kind of an effective way. But it makes listening to one of his audiobooks terrible.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it is because I'm reading it out
Yeah.
loud.
Oh, I bet that would. Yeah.
Affecting me differently, but I want to cringe every time.
I bet that would. All right. So 2 for your daughter, and the Sarah J. Maas is for you.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, there's a lot of blood and guts in that one. I wouldn't read to my kids yet.
Right.
Yet.
And 1,000 pages it'd take you. Like, should
It
be
would
graduating
take
high
me
school when
forever.
you finished it. So
Yes.
exciting. All right. That's it for you?
That's
and
it
the
for
big
me.
3? All right. What about you, Eric?
What have I been reading?
Yeah.
I finished book 4 of The Witcher, The Tower of
Yeah.
Swallows.
And we just discovered that you've been pounding through these all in this year.
Yeah,
right?
well, because I started like book 1, not Sword of Destiny, the first one, The Last Wish. I started that December, I finished it December 5th.
That's a confusing title for a first book.
Yeah. December 5th, 2017 is when I started The Witcher, and now I have read 6 Witcher books.
Wow.
So I've got one more to go.
Yeah.
Actually, he just put out a new one, too. But it
Never
takes
gonna
place between the short stories. So that's kind of nice.
Wow.
But it's a novel, so it's not a
Confusing.
collection of short stories.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably read the 5th one.
You never seem all that like, wow, this is a great Witcher book.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's wrong with me
Okay.
because I do like them. And when
Yeah.
they're over, these are the only fantasy books I've read in the past year. Like on my Goodreads fantasy shelf, it's just the Witcher series. I haven't taken any fantasy break between these.
But do you like them is my question?
Yes.
You do.
But they also have a tendency to drag.
Okay.
Or there is a part where you're just like, where's the Witcher? Where's Geralt? And I don't know. But at the end of this one, there was a pretty, the bad guys are on the ice looking for Ciri.
Okay.
And it's all foggy and everything.
The voice of Apple.
Ciri with a C.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, she's on ice skates and it's foggy. And they don't have a good time.
She's ice
The
skating.
bad guys.
Okay.
So she
It's like an ice skate war.
yeah.
Like from the film Batman and Robin with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Similar.
A little.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's weird. The writing style is just so unique.
Are these translated? I can't
These
remember.
are Polish.
They are. Okay.
Yes.
See, sometimes the translation doesn't quite
Yeah,
it doesn't
I don't
quite
know.
gel with it. I've read something like that. I was like, this is weird.
It's interesting. He'll have a character talking and the character will say, "No, don't interrupt me." It's that kind of writing where they're talking like the other character's saying something, but we don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, I can see you're falling asleep. Don't. I don't know. It's strange. I like them, but also when I'm reading them, I'm like, gosh, I wish something would happen. And
sounds
then when
like
it's
more
over,
like you-
I'm like, I should read something again.
You appreciate them and enjoy the story, but the writing is not what you want it to be.
I don't know. I try to figure it out, man. Because sometimes I'm like, oh,
try
I
to
like
help
this
you
writing
and
style.
just
Yeah.
bat it away.
The writing style changes. One chapter he'll do no descriptors. It's just dialogue of a conversation happening at a party by multiple people. Talking about politics or something, and then the next one will be a fairy tale conversation, and then the next one will just be the normal story, and so it keeps you on your toes, I guess.
That's kind of some of, to go back to C.S. Lewis, some of C.S. Lewis's stuff is like that. Like the Space Trilogy is like that.
Oh,
it's like,
boy.
we have narrative, and now we just have
Yeah.
a dialogue for 40 pages.
Yep.
So,
So I
but
finished
he's not Polish, I don't think.
C.S. Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah. I read 2 Carnage comic books, 2 Carnage graphic novels. I read Carnage.
Why are you doing this to yourself?
And then I read Carnage USA, both written by Zeb Wells. The first one, not so good. In fact, as I sit here trying to remember what happened, it's hard. Because Sentry, the big Superman Marvel figure, ripped him in half.
Neither of us asked what happened. If that
Back in
that helps you.
Back in New Avengers, Brian Michael Bendis' New Avengers,
Yes.
Carnage was there. Sentry took him into space, ripped him in half, so everybody thought Carnage was dead.
Oh.
But it turned out the symbiote kept Carnage alive. And now he has robot legs. But
like,
also the
like Darth Maul.
Darth Maul-ish, yeah. But now he's got the anyway. Carnage USA. He invades a small town and attacks them. There's other.
Oh, that's kind of a fun title then.
Agent Venom shows up to stop him. So now I think I need to read Minimum Carnage. It's a play on Maximum Carnage.
No, I get it.
So there's other Carnage stuff, and also I'm now up to date with the Venom runs that I've been reading, so I can go back to Agent Venom, so then I can get to the new Venom.
Is Agent Venom what I read? The newer stuff?
No, Agent Venom is Flash Thompson is like a super soldier, but with Venom.
Hard pass.
No, it's good.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so I've also been reading a lot of Nova. I got one more volume to go.
Okay.
It is wordy. I forgot. This is the guy writing this Nova series wrote he wrote Annihilation or at least Annihilation Conquest, but he also introduced what we know as the Guardians of the Galaxy now. So, and those were wordy too. They weren't as jokey as like the movies would have you believe. So, this one it's fun, but it's also kind of like, oh man, I get it. Space is complicated. I don't know. And I read volume 2 of Star Wars Darth Vader, Legacy's End, or The Legacy End.
Is it a new Darth Vader series?
This, I don't know, 2017's.
Volume 2? I thought you read the whole Darth Vader series.
Yeah, I read that one, but there's another.
So this is like a newer
Yeah,
Darth
this is
Vader
a different
series.
writer
Okay.
by Charles Soule.
Okay.
Anyways, I like it.
Oh,
I read the first one.
I've read some of his stuff.
This one was good. It deals with, do you remember the librarian in the prequels?
Yeah.
It's her
Okay.
being hunted.
That's cool.
It's a sad story.
Yeah.
So, I decided that just because, no, never mind. I'm not going to get into it. Anyways, I enjoyed it. So, okay. So I have 4 books. I have 5 books.
Okay.
I need to, I grabbed 3 books to read for myself. For book clubs with the school,
Yeah.
I need to read Wonder and I need to read Refugee.
Okay.
Seventh-
Kate, did you read Wonder?
I did read Wonder.
Thumbs up? Thumbs down?
Thumbs up.
Okay.
In general, yes.
I've only read the picture book,
Yeah.
whatever that's called. I liked it. I haven't seen the movie or anything.
I haven't seen the movie, and I liked the book, but I had a little bit of an issue with Augie, how he talked about himself. It got a little obnoxious in the
Really?
beginning.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, but overall, it was a really good book. It was sweet.
What grade is this book club for, Eric?
Wonder is for 7th grade.
Okay.
And
And
Refugee
Refugee?
is for 8th grade.
Okay.
Refugee by Alan Gratz.
I see them right behind you,
Yeah.
right there.
He writes like The Prisoner and then a couple numbers, Project, couple numbers.
No,
Call
I'm not familiar with this stuff.
Oh, no, this just says praise for Refugee. Well, there you go. Prisoner B 30887 Project. See those covers?
No, I'm not familiar with that.
All right. Well, anyway, but then I also grabbed for me Brandon Sanderson's Legion book,
Okay.
the Legion collection, because I read the first one.
I remember talking about that in advance notices.
Yeah, so I want to read that. I also grabbed Price of Duty, though my sci-fi bent keeps making me, in my head, I keep hearing it as what price duty. So,
It's it's a classic Star Trek title there.
yeah. What? And then I also grabbed I Am Still Alive by Kate Alice Marshall.
Okay.
These were both sexy new books.
Oh,
So,
nice.
I'm Still Alive was that one that was the survival one. The cover says it's the Revenant meets Hatchet. So
things are real cold.
yeah, real cold. She's gonna have to climb inside a bear in this one.
Yeah,
'cause
I
he
guess
climbed
so.
in a horse. But if it's gonna up them,
Yeah.
a
Well, I
moose.
guess I was just gonna say if it's meeting Hatchet, yeah.
yeah.
Climb right on a moose.
So those are what I have. I haven't started any of them, but
Okay.
All
right, that's it for you.
I restarted Gotham and Supergirl and Legends of Tomorrow and Arrow and The Flash all in one go.
Yeah.
So
That's a lot.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
yeah.
That's cool.
Once-
We started something together.
We did.
We started a video game together.
Oh, that's true.
We started playing Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
I on my Xbox and you on your computer.
Yeah.
I was a
future.
fan. I liked it.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty fun.
You got lost on an island, and
Are you familiar with this? Does your husband like this game? Your husband's a video gamer though, right? Yeah. Okay. It's a pretty cool. I mean, the basic setup is we're just like a couple of pirate bros, like looking for work and going out there. Our ship sank. I had to hold out on an island
by himself?
fighting skeletons while Eric brought us a new ship. It was very tense, folks.
Right, yeah, I was on the complete opposite side of the world, but I made it.
You did.
You know, now that I say that, I wonder if the world is round in Sea of Thieves, and maybe I could have just gone west.
Just hung a left instead. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that
I
is
didn't think about
interesting.
that. I guess I just assumed I'd hit a wall.
Yeah. Maybe you would have just wound up in like Rhode Island or something, and that wouldn't have been helpful for anyone.
Yeah, I bet it is round. I bet I wasted a lot of time.
So we did that. And then I also started a new game called Lara Croft and the Guardians of the Light.
Cool.
It was pretty good.
Guardians
It was
of
a pretty
Light,
fun game. Atypical Tomb Raider game. But as far as books, I did some traveling, so I had some audiobooks going, so I've got quite a lot here. So everybody just buckle up.
Okay.
I finished Dick Van Dyke's autobiography, My Lucky Life in and Out of Show Business.
Right.
I'd read his other one, the aging one. I can't remember what it's called. Step in Time, I think, probably. That was pretty good. Yeah. This one was just his whole life, and it was very interesting. A lot of things I didn't know about.
How much does he talk about museum, Night of the Museum?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit, he does.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's his early days, like, like working with like Walter Cronkite, and was the original host of The Price is Right before they like made it a like he was the tester, basically, like before they made the real pilot, and just all sorts of stuff. A really interesting career and interesting guy. So I enjoyed that a lot. And he read it, and I was listening to the audiobook, so he did great with that. That was fun. I read Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney. I think this is her debut. She's got another one coming out. It's in the vein of the, like, you have a unreliable female protagonist who's going through a lot of like high emotional and conflicting feelings. So like the Girl on the Train phenomenon.
Big Mama's House.
Nope.
Sounds like it.
No, that's Martin Lawrence as Big Mama. So that's not,
all right.
That's not even similar. But this was about a woman who she's in a coma. Like, that's how it starts. She's in a coma. And so she's picking up some of the things that are happening in the room. Some of it is flashbacks. You're seeing her sister. You're seeing all sorts of things going on. I'm going to break a rule that I have, because I hate when people say something about the twist, because even knowing there's a twist kind of gives something away. But there are so many twists in this novel that you're never going to know which one is which
Pick
one.
and choose which one you're talking about.
While I did enjoy it, it's one of those ones, like, the more I think about it, the more I think, like, that wasn't good. So I enjoyed it while it was happening. But by the end, I was like, stop twisting. You have to stop twisting. One of these has to be the real thing. Stop twisting. But it never did. So by the end, I was like, I guess I know what happened. I don't know. Like, I guess I wouldn't recommend it. Is the final thing. I read The Killing Game.
That was Kate laughing for listeners. I gave her the microphone, but I didn't announce it.
That was Eric.
No, this is me talking now.
I finished The Killing Game by Max Allan Collins, which is a CSI novel. This was my light, mindless reading, and I liked it.
Take that, CSI
I liked it.
Endgame.
You know what?
Game.
Honestly, I expected it to be kind of bad, but I actually thought it was pretty good. It was a well-plotted mystery. Yeah. That just happened to be from the early 2000s TV show CSI. Yeah. I read Kobayashi Maru.
There is an I in CSI.
Yeah, you're right.
So you can't ever say that. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I should have just let you go.
You should have.
After editing last week's, I'm like, I do say a lot of stuff that needs to be edited out. So
Kobayashi Maru by Julie Eckler. This is a Star Trek book, also an audiobook.
I learned how to spell Kobayashi Maru today.
Congratulations. I listened to this on Overdrive, so Overdrive fans, get out there, check this out.
Is that Sulu on the cover?
It is. Yeah, this is Kobayashi Maru. Is if you're not a Star Trek fan. So Kate, I'll address this to you. Is the test that they all have to take when they're in the training to be in the command track. It's a scenario that they have to they're judged based on how they handle this scenario. So basically, it's like remember the Golden Girls where they'd all sit around the table and eat cheesecake and be like, remember that time when. It was like that, but a Star Trek book.
Right, the time the Golden Girls went through the Kobayashi Maru.
Yeah, when Blanche and Dorothy went through the Kobayashi Maru.
Blanche.
So it was fun.
Is that Chekhov on the cover?
Chekhov, yeah. You hear about Chekhov, Kirk, Sulu, and Scotty.
How's Scotty do?
Not great. He decided to become an engineer.
Okay.
And then I read Forever Free, the graphic novelization
I wanna be
Joe Haldeman's work, Forever Free. So if you haven't listened to the interview we did with Joe Haldeman a few months back, I guess, check it out because it was a really good talk. And now you've read the novel of this, and the concepts are cool, but I just at first,
yes.
And I don't think that it worked as well. I will say that I was impressed that they were able to do such a good job matching the look and feel of the Forever War graphic novel, because that's old. That's like 20 years old, and this one just came out like this year. We were talking to Joe about in advance of it coming out.
Right.
They look and feel like they were written back to back. So props to both Joe and his wife and the artist on that because they really did a good job. On to what I'm currently reading.
Oh, boy.
Sorry. I picked up Mr. Dickens and His Carol by Samantha Silva. So if you remember, we featured this last year on one of the Christmas episodes of the podcast. And we are doing this as our last book club of the year. I'm enjoying it so far. All the copies are checked out. So if you want it, I don't know. I don't know how to help you. And then I'm reading Unsheltered, the new novel by Barbara Kingsolver.
Yeah.
Good so far. I'm not that far into it, but I'm liking it so far. I've only read one other book of hers, and that was Prodigal Summer.
Okay.
Have you read Barbara Kingsolver, Kate?
No, that's not
Poisonwood
one
Bible or
I've
anything
picked
like
up
that? No? Okay. Well, so far, so good. And that's it for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention I played the new Smash Brothers game.
Oh,
The new
yes,
Super
to
Smash
the
Brothers on the
extreme.
Switch. The reason I played is because we bought it for our Switch that we keep up in our teen loft for the kids.
Yeah.
And I have scheduled for this Wednesday to be like a Smash Brothers night. Like, we're just going to put it on the big screen and everything. And I told them, and they were all excited last week. They're like, oh, it's just going to be Smash Brothers because Smash Brothers is awesome. And, they like cracking soda cans on their skulls.
I'm not a fan of Smash Brothers.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, they were very excited. And I put it on Facebook and everything. And then I turned on the game.
Yeah.
And you start with 8 characters out of 77.
Wow.
And so I was like, if I show up Wednesday night with just the first 8 characters for these kids, I might as well just go home, just pack it in.
up.
So
Get out.
I spent the weekend unlocking, not all of them. I unlocked about 56 characters.
It's pretty good.
So, and the thing is, to unlock a character, you have to play a little bit, and then the character comes to you, and then you have to fight the character and win.
Wow.
And there are some characters that I had to fight multiple times.
Wow.
And there are some characters who I was just like, you know what? The kids can unlock this.
Yeah.
So Cloud from Final Fantasy VII just kicked my butt.
No.
Ryu from Street Fighter's in it, though.
Yeah.
He plays great. So I've been enjoying him. I did most of my fighting with Kirby.
Okay.
But yes, after like the last fight at like 50, having like 66 characters there unlocked, I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I think they'll be happy.
Well, your passion for your work is commendable. So.
Some of them are going to be like, where's Mewtwo? This place sucks.
I don't know who that is.
Librarians are the worst.
I don't know who that is.
Mewtwo?
Yeah.
He's a Pokemon. Mewtwo.
I even knew that one.
Kate knew it.
Yeah.
That's something.
I'll let Kate explain Mewtwo. Explain Mewtwo to Nick as if you would to a child.
Yeah.
I said I knew who it was. I didn't say I could explain it. There's a difference.
Oh, you overplayed your hand, Eric.
Mewtwo is Pokemon 1 number 50. 150. I said 1 number 50.
Oh, okay.
So 100.
Well,
no,
now that I know he has a number attached to him, I
kind
feel
of
like I understand.
White and purple. He's kind of like the Darth Vader of the Pokemon universe.
I have to figure
he's
out
psychic.
what about my facial expressions indicated an interest in this because you didn't see. Kate didn't see.
He was made in a lab.
Yeah.
He's tough.
Right.
At the end of the first Pokemon game, after you beat the Elite Four, you have to go into like a secret dungeon, and then you capture him.
Okay.
So,
All right.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
He was the star of the 1999's Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes
Am
Back.
I doing the thing with my face again where it looks like I
had the soundtrack
Okay.
for Pokemon the movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back.
Okay.
Christina Aguilera was
pretty
on
good
it.
stuff? Don't we have that in the collection?
Yeah.
I think we do.
I would say it's not good stuff, but it
Didn't
had a
age well.
kickin' version of the Pokemon theme song, and it had a cool song called Brother My Brother.
Okay.
That's really gets you.
Okay. Was that by Joey Lawrence and his brothers?
No.
Did they sing it? Okay.
So
I just thought timing wise. That
anyway,
would work out.
yeah.
New York Times. Speaking of times, let's see what's going on over there.
Speaking of times.
Yeah, I said timing wise.
Okay, let me just open up the bestsellers list. This is a boring week for New York Times bestsellers.
Okay. Well, now that I'm prepared for that,
You think you're better off? Yeah,
I think I can handle it.
I think I can mention a debut that maybe is a sign. Tom Clancy Oath of Office by Mark Cameron. President Jack Ryan must contain the fallout of the flu epidemic and undermining senator and 2 hijacked Russian nuclear missiles. Wow, that is a lot. But it debuted at number 12. And Tom Clancy's, like, even though it's not him anymore, they've still been doing okay.
Yeah.
Not now.
They keep switching authors.
Yes, this is a different author.
There's
Who was
been
the other
quite
one?
a few. Well, there was Mark Greaney was doing it for a while, and then
Yeah.
Grant Blackwood was doing it for a while.
Yeah. Grant Morrison.
I don't think Grant Morrison did it. No.
Yeah.
Jack Ryan's on a giant turtle flying through Neptune.
Yeah.
Grant Morrison, everyone.
Yep. That was pretty good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wait, really? Kate knows who Grant Morrison is.
She didn't say that.
Oh,
She just
okay.
liked my Scottish accent.
All right. All right. So number 10 on the New York Times bestsellers list for hardcover fiction. The Next Person You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom. The sequel to Five People You Meet in Heaven follows Annie on her heavenly journey. Kate, any thoughts?
Yeah, I know you.
No,
Eric has not
no
read
thoughts.
Mitch. Have you read any of the Mitch
have
albums?
not.
Not even like Tuesdays with Maury?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
You know.
All right. That's all right.
All right.
Yeah.
Number 9 is Leanne Moriarty's. Oh, I'm on the wrong picture. Sorry, that didn't make sense to anybody who doesn't know what I'm doing right now. Leanne Moriarty. 9 Perfect Strangers.
Yeah.
So this is the villain of Sherlock Holmes.
Now, I mean, your wife, our past guest Kendra, is a huge fan of Leanne
you say
Moriarty. But
past
I don't even
cast?
think I don't even think she was that thrilled.
I
About
think she
this
gave
one.
it 3 stars.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and we are doing a Leanne Moriarty specially focused book club in January. The first one we're going to do is What Alice Forgot, and we're going to have Kendra back on the show to talk about Leanne Moriarty in early January.
That's
so
true.
Give me a chance to read a few more.
Number 8 is Look Alive 25. Janet Ivanovich. Kate, have you read any of the 25s?
No, I have not read Janet Ivanovich either.
I don't think you're
I'm such a
missing out.
slacker. I don't think I read anything.
You
It's
don't-
not young adult
You don't have
fantasy.
to read. You don't have to read Janet Ivanovich. That's all right.
Thanks for that, Pat.
I read one of the Christmas ones, and it was a hard time. It's a
Yeah.
hard time in my life to read that
Well, I
book.
think if you base your whole series just off of numbers,
Yeah.
I mean, 25.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's just keep going.
Yeah.
You know, there's not
she
much
can
to it.
she can
Not a whole lot of
basically
depth.
never retire.
Exactly.
It's good news for whoever takes over the series after Janet Ivanovich. You know, when Mark Greaney sits down to write the next Stephanie Plum,
Yeah,
he
Mark
can be
Greaney.
like 38. I got a date.
Nice. Yeah, it kind of writes itself.
It does.
Though
yeah.
there's
Yeah,
only
give me my money. Send me the check.
Yeah. All right, number 7. Oh, what just happened?
I don't
I
know.
did. I clicked an ad. Or I clicked who's Pamela Paul? Oh, New York Times writer. Oh, she must make this list.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, Pamela, you could do a little bit more descriptions in these books.
Wow. We're really calling her out
yeah.
on that one.
Well, now that I have a name, David Baldacci's Long Road to Mercy.
Yeah.
Atlee Pine. Gosh, I'm gonna lie down.
Yeah,
An
you
FBI
better.
agent who is haunted by the childhood kidnapping of her twin sisters must choose between protecting her career or the United States democracy. That's this one. I always forget. Yeah, has to solve a crime or save government.
Yeah. I'm David Baldacci. I'm not a fan.
Okay, what are you a fan of? Lee Child?
I used to be.
Yeah. Past tense. Jack Reacher explores the New England town where his father grew up. Or no, just was born. So
I
wonder
feel
if it's
like now,
Maine. Do you
how-
think it's Maine?
The way you write a Jack Reacher is just do like a find and replace.
Yeah.
Just change the MacGuffin, change the lady's name.
Yeah.
And then you're good.
You've read more. Do you think Jack Ryan's dad is from Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, or Connecticut?
Jack Reacher.
Jack Reacher's dad.
I don't know.
What does he strike you as? Like, is he ever
He's
like?
not in it. He's not in it.
Oh,
so I don't know.
So he's never like. I can't think of a Maine.
Jack Reacher feels
Past the
like he was
lobster.
born in like the heartland. He feels
Yeah.
like he was born in the Midwest.
Yeah.
The Bible Belt.
Yeah.
The Rust Belt.
Okay. Yeah. And Jack Ryan's dad is always saying wicked.
You keep saying Jack Ryan when you mean Jack Reacher.
I mean Jack Reacher.
Yeah.
Jack Reacher's dad is always saying wicked.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. He's a big fan of The Witcher.
number 5, Every Breath by Nicholas Sparks. Kate, you can just shake your head or not if you want the microphone for this one. No, me
Not a
either.
fan.
Yeah, Kendra, my wife, the Invisible Woman.
Yeah.
She has not been excited to pick this one up.
Oh.
So
Wow.
we've passed it.
Kendra even did a special episode
Yeah,
of all the
she
books
loves
called
Nicholas
Sparks
Sparks.
Fly.
but something about this is not. But somebody over on my Twitch stream, they
Yeah.
were talking about how they were very excited for this. So I don't
Oh, that's
know.
good.
Maybe it's been on here on the list for a while, but so is 2x2.
Yeah.
So I wonder if this one is. The description is the difficult choices they meet in the Carolina. There's like no twist. So are you okay?
I'm just tired.
Oh, I'm sorry. I won't.
It's all right.
Yeah, Nicholas Sparks.
Board meeting this morning, man. I've been up.
Sounds like it was a real board meeting.
I'm going to have to dock your pay for that pun.
No.
I don't want to. But.
Number 4, Target. Alex Cross by James Patterson. Alex Cross returns to the 26 books in the series bearing his name. See, that is not a description. Tell me.
Yeah.
So-
You already called her on the carpet. I don't think there's much more you could do.
Yeah. John Grisham, the Grishmeister.
I do want to read the new Grish.
The Reckoning, is at number
Reckoning.
3, hardcover fiction. A decorated World War II veteran shoots and kills a pastor inside a Mississippi church.
Yeah.
Number 2. Oh, Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin. Set 300 years before the events of Game of Thrones. This is the first volume of a 2-part history of the Targaryens in Westeros, which is not book 6 of Game of Thrones.
I don't have a horse in this race, but Game of Thrones fans, you got to stop buying this man's other stuff.
Yeah.
You're just encouraging his extracurricular activities. You're never going to get the end of this series.
Yeah, George R.R. Martin's book on how to fly kites. Yeah. Kites and You and the Men Who Love the
I heard
Kites.
he was in the process of adding a third R to his middle initials as well.
That's going to
George R.R. Martin is what they're going for now.
You can just call him George R's Martin.
Okay.
Yeah, just growl.
A pirate.
Number 1 is brand new. It's the only new one on the list.
I'm ready.
I said this is real boring.
I'm excited.
Kingdom of the Blind by Louise Penny.
Okay.
Gamache,
probably Gamache.
Gamache?
Is that the...
Let's see. While on suspension, Chief Inspector Armin Gamache. Yeah, it's Gamache.
There it
is made an executioner. No, an executor. Sorry, he's made an executor. They make Gamache an executor of a stranger's will.
You have been sentenced to death by Gamache.
Darn it. I really wish I had said that right.
Look, I've only read one of these Gamache books. It was the first one.
Uh-huh.
I did not like it, but I think a lot of the problem was there was so much series setup that it kind of bogged down the story.
Okay.
So she's very popular, so I'm gotta get back in there.
Well, he's made a
executor,
yeah, of a stranger's will and tries to keep a deadly neurotic off of Montreal streets.
You wanted more explanation of these titles.
Yeah.
Now you got it.
Yeah. You know what the problem is?
Tell
me. I see executor.
Yeah.
And I want to say Executor, the Pokemon that's like an egg.
You don't have to explain to me who that is.
Oh, you knew who Executor
was?
No,
I don't.
Oh.
I don't.
But
you don't have to tell me.
Oh, he's a psychic grass type.
I don't know.
He turns into like a palm tree.
Yeah, but what's his number? That's what I need to know.
Oh, dang.
No, please. Don't tell me. Oh. It's just silence right now.
You can start talking.
This.
Yeah,
no, I don't. You know what? Instead of me talking, why don't you just play the music under this?
There you go.
No, see, we should have changed the music, though, because it only says Nic and Eric, and Kate's here, too.
Yeah, let's do
Executor. All right.
Oh, that's just a picture of him.
Okay, well, while Eric does this thing that no one wants him to do, we're going to be talking about the Goodreads Choice Awards.
Yeah, okay.
So I already gave you the lowdown at the beginning, but this is split up among different categories.
103. Pokemon 103.
Pokemon 103, okay.
We can move on now.
Set up under different categories. There's multiple rounds, so it kind of gets narrowed down to favorites. And then you vote on the finalists, and here we go. So there's several results here. Before we get into this and we kind of take a little walk through, how do we feel about this list overall? That's my question.
The winners specifically,
Yeah.
or how the list is formulated? Because I think Eric and I talked about that last year.
Okay.
Because he has a real issue when a continuing series wins. And I can kind of understand that.
Yeah.
Like the Sarah J. Maas, it's like the 7th book in the series.
Right.
And anybody who likes the series, they're just going to keep voting for it anyway.
Yeah.
So
I kind of feel like, and I mean, I've been guilty of this myself, that it's like you look at it and it's like there's one that you've read, and so you vote for it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know that's
Not
pretty much what I do.
necessarily the best in there.
No.
Yeah, I just thought overall I was a little disappointed with the winners.
Yeah, I really didn't. I didn't have much stake in it either, though. Like, as I was looking through them, I was like, I haven't read any of this.
So, well, I don't know. Eric, what did you think? Were you, overall, were you impressed with what was out there? Did you find it like a good representation?
Let's see. I mean, I recognized a lot of them this year.
Yeah, but
they told me to, and I did.
All right.
They
Well,
said
let's
you
just
better
get
recognize, and I did. No, I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Usually I feel like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Or at least like the top 3. I'm like, well, I would have gone in another direction. This time, I mean, like Kate said, I'm very like unattached to this list. I don't have a lot.
Yeah, I don't.
Let's go ahead and look at best fiction. And this may be the dullest one on here for me. I never, ever expected this to win. And
this is best fiction.
Still Me by Jojo Moyes. This is book 3 in this series. I honestly thought that everyone was over this Jojo Moyes series. I know there was that movie that no one watched, but I
so many people saw it.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
I made tons of money.
All right. I just never hear people asking for this book. I don't hear a lot of buzz about these books. So when this won, I was pretty surprised.
Is it Still Me? Came out in January. I feel like that was on the New York Times sellers for a love.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was on there.
You said Me Before You. Yeah, Me Before You is the first one that had the movie.
I just when you look in here, I think there's a lot of things that we're pretty buzzed about, like Jodi Picoult's Spark of Light, Female Persuasion by Meg Wolitzer, There by Tommy Orange, an absolutely remarkable thing by Hank Green. I feel like all of these had a lot of buzz and a lot of interest in a way that I didn't hear anything about Jojo Moyes Still Me. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I was surprised and a little like wah wah about this.
Yeah.
So Still Me won second place with a pretty healthy margin, about 14,000 separating the first place from second place. We have American Marriage by Tayari Jones, and then in third place, Frederick Bachman's Us Against You. Now, it's not that I heard tons of positive things about Us Against You, but it did have the buzz. So I don't know. Fourth place, Leanne Moriarty's Nine Perfect Strangers. But this to me was not an interesting pick or a particularly interesting list. So what do I know? Let's look at Best Mystery and Thriller. Kate, did you read any of these? I know you're a J.K. Rowling.
I'm really I get stuck in the YA so much.
Okay. I thought maybe you would have read third place here. We have J.K. Rowling / Robert Galbraith's
You know, I
Lethal
haven't
Wife.
gotten that one yet. I am
haven't.
looking forward to it, though.
I read a decent amount on here. Of the ones nominated, I read The Woman in the Window, The Wife Between Us, Death of Mrs. Westaway by Ruth Ware, Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney, and Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. I read all of those, and the winner was Stephen King's The Outsider. And Eric, did you hear a lot of good things about? I was surprised at this one for mystery.
I don't think I heard tons of good things about this, but we didn't hear as much bad things as like all I've heard with Elevation is negative stuff.
Yeah.
So
that and Sleeping Beauties.
Yeah. Outsiders was just there for a long time, but I didn't hear a lot of people talking about it, and I didn't see a lot of talk about it in general.
It sounds like, he's been getting a little bit more into the mystery end of things, like the Mr. Mercedes or the Bill Hodges trilogy was very much in the mystery genre versus like horror or something. So I haven't gotten to The Outsider yet. I haven't read it. My vote in this was The Wife Between Us, because I thought, like, mystery-wise, that was very well done. It was... I was constantly kept me guessing. I was really curious what was going on. I really liked that. And that got fourth place, so, you know. The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn took second place.
You like that one?
Yeah, actually, I think I'm looking at my ratings here. I actually rated that one a little higher. But I felt like The Wife Between Us was a better mystery, whereas Woman in the Window is maybe a better book overall. Yeah. But I would have been happy with any of those. The J.K. Rowling book in here, Lethal White, this has gotten a pretty much universal, like, blah response. Which of these have you read, Kate?
I've read... There are three.
This is
this
is the fourth.
This is four, yeah. So I've read all three.
Okay. And
I felt like the series was improving as it went, though.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, changing a little bit, maybe a little more gruesome.
That's what I hear.
But I think it also, the action was a little bit better. The story was a little bit clearer. Yeah. So I had high hopes for this one. Now I'm a little concerned.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm okay with this one. There's at least a decent amount that I felt like were pretty good, buzzy, and interesting. The President is Missing, I tried to read and just hated so much that I stopped. Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell is probably the one that I think has had the most buzzed. I know we were just talking about our digital collections. And so I was looking into, and this one has probably the most holds on Overdrive right now. This has, I think we maybe have one, maybe two copies of this digitally, and it has 80 holds on it.
Wow.
So that's a pretty good indication
like a little
that
bit of
there's
buzz,
at least a lot of interest in that one. But again, the winning mystery this year was Stephen King's The Outsider.
Do you think that was just because it's Stephen King?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's got the most name recognition and all that. But I think that's probably true of our next winner as well. Eric, you want to give us a rundown on some of the nominees for greatest or best historical fiction?
Best historical fiction. Yeah, I'm going to. Here we go. All right. So who was? Let's see. What's second place? The Tattooist of Auschwitz.
Yeah.
That's actually. I mean, it's second place, but I feel like I've been hearing a lot. I've been seeing this a lot of different places.
Yeah. I have too.
The Immortalist by Chloe Benjamin.
That was on some like best of the year lists.
The Immortalist?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's at third place. Fourth place is The Clockmaker's Daughter, Kate Morton. And then fifth place is Where the Crawdads Sing by Delilah Owens.
I think that was probably like bestseller. That was probably no. I think the winner is probably the one that was longest on the bestseller list. But
Yeah.
Where the Crawdads Sing has got a lot of play and has been picked up for. I think is that the one that's on? That's the Oprah Book Club pick, correct?
Yes.
I think so.
No, you got that wrong.
It's Reese Witherspoon.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
Well, we also discussed in 2 episodes back. We talked about the map of Salt and Stars, and that was one that I was really interested in. And of course, I'm currently reading Barbara Kingsolver's Unsheltered.
Well, the winner
so far.
of the historical is Kristen Hanna's The Great Alone.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's so Kristen Hanna. Have you ever read Kristen Hanna, Kate? You're not familiar with okay.
Never mind, I'll keep it like that.
What was it? What is her big one? The Nightingale.
The Nightingale. You love that one. You're always like, more Nightingale, please.
I actually think that The Great Alone is a much better book than The Nightingale. I think The Nightingale, it's World War II, and it's just, I think that it's...
This is Nick's critique of World War II. Here it comes.
The Nightingale, I just think it's a topic that has been so covered in literature, especially in recent years. I mean, All the Light We Cannot See comes to mind. A lot of books written about World War II. And I think The Nightingale kind of went for the easy, like sentimental, almost schmaltzy thing. I mean, it's a hard book to read. It's certainly upsetting in places. I'm not trying to take anything away from it, but I think it's more of a simpler slam dunk, because of the subject. Where The Great Alone deals with the Vietnam War and the fallout of the Vietnam War. That one doesn't.
This is the one where they go to Alaska
Yes.
and the dad becomes like a blacksmith.
Not a blacksmith, but yeah, basically he inherits some land in Alaska from one of his friends who died in the Vietnam War.
Right.
And so his family's just kind of downtrodden, down on their luck, and they're like, well, we got nothing to lose. Let's go up to Alaska. And I don't want to give too much away, but basically some members of the family really blossom in this setting and some do not at all.
Right.
And it's dark and realistic in a way that I think, I don't know. I don't want to give too much away, but it deals with post-traumatic stress, and it deals with this sort of fish out of water in a way that I think is pretty good, although I've heard some criticism that it kind of trivializes the post-traumatic stress element of it, and I think that's a fair criticism. But overall, I think the book was very well done, and I enjoyed it. So I'm okay with that winning.
All right. My wife bought it for 50 cents.
Yeah, I heard. I think she'd enjoy it.
I don't know why it was 50 cents. We kept looking like, is this?
Yeah, what's wrong with it?
Yeah.
All right, Eric, take us in Best Fantasy, because I don't have anything to say about this one. Kate, I know one of your favorites is on here, though. I'm curious if you read it. Did you read Patricia Briggs' Burn Bright?
Yes, I did.
Nice. Did you
I'm up to date with Patricia Briggs' books.
Did you like it?
I did like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, okay.
And
so,
that's the Alpha and Omega series,
Yeah, okay, that's
which
what I
I
was
do
gonna ask.
like better than the Mercy Thompson
Okay.
series, personally.
But are they, like, internally, are they set within the same world?
Yes.
They are. Okay.
Yes.
And, okay, so remind
Just
me
the
again.
focus on different characters.
Okay. And Alpha and Omega, what is, I mean, that makes it sound like is it a werewolf?
It's a Huskies. They're Husky dogs. Family films.
I see.
CGI family film dog movies.
Sure. Thanks for chiming in for that.
That might be true. But Patricia Briggs, Alpha and Omega, they are werewolves.
Okay.
Yes. There's the Alpha werewolf and the Omega, who has the calming effect over the pack.
And the Mercy Thompsons, all I've read in any of this is one of the graphic novels, so I know like next to nothing about it. What's her deal?
Mercy Thompson is a shapeshifter.
Oh.
She's not a werewolf. She has like a magical being.
Interesting.
She can shift into a coyote.
Okay.
So she kind of falls into their world. She grew up with the werewolves and then ends up actually marrying a werewolf also later on.
Oh.
So she's deep in the werewolf world.
I see. Anything else on the fantasy things that you read? I've read none of these, so I got nothing. I got nothing to add.
Think so. Keep
Okay.
going. Let me see. Patricia Briggs. Nope, that's it.
Okay.
Here I am then.
Go ahead, Eric. Take it away.
All right. So I have heard of Age of War, and I meant to. It was actually, I sent you a list of some fantasy books we should get, and this was on it.
Oh, okay.
Age of War, it has like 4,000 votes.
Age of War by Michael J. Sullivan.
Yes, it has. It's a trilogy series. It came out when I was looking at Audible books
Oh.
to listen to. This was one of the most highly recommended fantasy books there, but because it's book 3 of a trilogy, I didn't do it. So who else is on the list? Nora Roberts' Year 1 made it. We had a lot of fun comparing that to
Yes, we
Batman Year
did.
1. So
Yes, we did.
I'm looking forward to Nora Roberts' Year 2. because that's not as good of a Batman story. Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. This is the sequel to, darn it all.
That's right. We talked about this last time.
Yes, this.
I don't. Well, tell a little about it, and I'll figure out what its background.
Okay. This is the sequel to the book that won the Nebula by Naomi Novik. So it's a fantasy young adult book, but it ends up on a lot of adult lists. But every time I see it, it's always in the young adult section. So Uprooted is the name of the first book.
Okay.
So I need to read the first book. But it's strange because here I haven't seen Spinning Silver as popular as the first one. So The Shape of Water is in second place.
So that is just, that's just the movie, right? They just
Yeah,
it's essentially like a novelization.
I think so.
Almost?
Yeah. So
okay.
And then first place is the book my wife is going to read for us to tell us if this is Circe by Madeline Miller. It's not that it sounds bad. I just don't understand how this became the best-selling fantasy book of the year.
Yeah.
And people, one...
It feels like it just came out of nowhere.
This won by 40,000 votes.
Yeah.
So that's not a small deal.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah.
So the winner for fantasy is Circe by Madeline Miller. And if you've read this book, tell us where it came from and why you liked it.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. That was the best fantasy.
All right, let's talk best of the best. So this is the 10 years of the Goodreads Choice Awards. I know that we've each read a couple in here. Kate, what did you vote for in this one?
I did vote for The Hate You Give.
You did? Okay.
I did. I really enjoyed that one. I think it had a lot that anyone could benefit from, a good message in it to take away. So
there were quite a few in here that I liked that I could have seen voting for. The ones that I actually did vote for didn't make it to the final cut, so I switched my vote to be Stephen King's 11/22/63.
Okay.
I loved that book.
I've
but
never read Stephen King. I really am going to have to get on the train
That
at
one's a time
some
travel
point.
story. I don't know.
Okay.
I bet I could help you find one that you like.
Probably.
We can talk off mic. I'll set you up. I really liked Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. Really liked Eleanor and Park, The Martian, Gone Girl. A lot of things on here that I read and enjoyed.
Fault in Our Stars was good.
I haven't read it.
Oh, really? That is,
All the Light We
really
Cannot
sad,
See.
though.
Yeah. What about you, Eric? What was your vote for this one?
I didn't vote for this one.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I guess I didn't. Sorry, everybody.
You've read a lot of these, though, haven't you?
Let's see. I have read The Martian.
Yeah.
I've read Catching Fire.
Yeah.
The Fault in Our Stars. Eleanor and Park. And The Ocean at the End of the Lane.
So what would you vote for?
Out of the ones I read, I'd give it to The Martian.
Yeah, Martian's good.
Even though Fault in Our Stars is probably a better... Ocean at the End of the Lane is probably a better book, too.
Okay.
But I'm sure The Hate You Give is better than all of them.
Well, the winner, of course, is The Hate You Give with 68,000 votes.
Yeah.
With 60,000 votes, next in line is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Dewar, which makes perfect sense to me because that was a phenomenon.
Yeah. I'm surprised to see Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas so high up there.
It's very high considering the competition.
Yeah, but there you go.
Yep. Number 4 is The Help.
Yeah.
The Help.
And Gone Girl is on there. I haven't read it, but I saw the movie. I like the movie.
The book's very good. I think the book's better than the movie.
Well, I think the movie's better than you.
I'm not familiar with any of these romance titles. I don't know if either of you are.
Should I click on it? Because every time I do, it's always kind of...
Well, the winner...
I'll let Kate read off it.
The winner was The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hoying. 43,000 votes. Next in line, All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. And then third place, The Wedding Date by Jasmine Gilroy. J.R. Ward tends to be pretty popular. She's coming in at the fourth. Have you read any J.R. Ward?
I haven't. I really don't do romance.
Yeah, okay. Some of hers, they lean more supernatural than
Sometimes
than
they
romance.
do, yeah. I've seen her come up on other fantasy supernatural kind of ones.
Lisa Kleypas, Hello Stranger. She's the author of the dress books. Oh boy,
I don't know.
Nothing. It's gone now. The Selection.
Oh, okay.
The Selection series.
Right.
Nope. No, that's not her. Never mind. I don't know who Lisa Kleypas is.
Thank you.
I screwed that up. Darker is real low on this list. 5th place.
Oh, the
50 Shades of Grey. Sorry, Darker.
I don't know why you say it like that, but
I don't know. I think maybe that series is done.
oh well, yeah, I think it is too.
Okay.
All right, go ahead with sci-fi, Eric.
All right. Let's see. I probably haven't read any of this. I'm so bad at keeping up. The only thing I ever keep up new-wise with is movies. All right. Anyway, The Consuming Fire by John Scalzi. That's book 2 of the first one I read. The first one, The Collapsing Empire. So this is the second one.
Well, that's the lowest on the list.
Yeah.
So good job.
Looks like people hated it.
I guess so. John Scalzi's on here a couple times.
Oh,
he's got Consuming Fire and he's got Head On.
Listen, I don't love John Scalzi. Okay. Sinzin Lao wrote Ball Lightning. That's a standalone from what I understand. He wrote The Three Body Problem, which was very good.
Oh, yeah.
And it seems like people are still looking for it. I was in Barnes & Noble, and somebody was asking to find that.
Oh.
So, I mean, yeah, that's just one of the things I heard at Barnes & Noble. I said heard. Yeah. Star Wars Thrawn Alliances, John Scalzi Head On is on this list.
Yep.
James A. Corey still stays pretty high for like book, 15?
Yeah.
Martha Wells, Artificial Conditioning. That's book 2 of her Murderbot Diaries.
These
are novellas.
We've ordered all those, so they'll be in the system.
Yeah, so that's 4 parts. And then, all right, so the top 4, you have Only Human by, go on.
Sorry, I don't have it up.
Oh, there we go. Sylvan
Newville.
You got Vox by Christina Delcher. You got Pierce Brown's Iron Gold.
That's book 4 in the Red Rising.
Yeah, I've seen this around a lot.
I have too. They seem popular.
And V.E. Schwab's, did I say that right?
Yeah.
I hope so. Vengeful. This is Villains book 2. She wrote the Darker Shades of Magic and whatnot. So she seems pretty popular. I didn't realize this was sci-fi. So there you go.
All right. Well, moving on to horror. This is one that I take issue with.
Yeah.
Elevation 1 by Stephen King.
Yeah.
And I have to assume that's because
this is just what people read.
That's what people read.
But still, why would you vote for it? Do they not know how this awards work? Clicking doesn't mean you read it. It means you think it was great.
Yeah. Well, it's fun to vote.
It is fun to vote.
Honestly, I think that I don't know. I've talked about this so much, so I won't get too deep into it. But I think it's only very loosely horror.
Right.
Like, you can think about the concept and think like, oh, that would be scary. But it's not a scary book.
It's weird.
It's not I would not classify this as horror.
It's weird that Elevation ended up here and not The Outsider. Because that seems like it'd be scarier because it's about kid going missing from a murderer.
Yeah.
So that's scary.
So take that with a grain of salt, I guess, because I don't think that Elevation, I don't think it is a horror novel for one.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that it's not good.
Yeah.
So
I don't have anything to say about this section either.
Right.
The Cabin at the End of the World is in second place. No, it's not.
Baby Teeth is
Baby
in
Teeth.
second place. Not familiar with that.
Dracul
Dracul
is at number 3. Anne Rice made it with Christopher Rice.
Mm-hmm.
Ramses the Damned, The Passion of Cleopatra.
Yeah, this is a sequel to the first Ramses book.
Yeah.
So I mean, Anne Rice is always a favorite, but pretty low votes on that.
Yeah.
Not a ton exciting in here. Not exciting for me anyway. But,
yeah.
And it looks like it's compared to some of the other categories, it's pretty low vote wise, and Elevation wins by double the next on the list. So
all right. Well, humor
that's kind of skewed.
Is Tiffany Haddish, The Last Black Unicorn, and she it's only 2,000 votes between here, but it's funny. So first and second place are very close with The Last Black Unicorn by Tiffany Haddish and Dave Sedaris's Calypso. Mm-hmm. But then there's like no competition between second and third place. Yeah. Megan Mullally and Nick Offerman's their book, The Greatest Love Story Ever Told, is on there. You got Busy Phillips.
Busy Phillips.
Busy. I've been saying Bussy for years.
This will only hurt a little.
Yeah.
I thought the Hope Never Dies, the Barack Obama, Joe Biden mystery looked pretty fun. It looked reminiscent of those Elvis mysteries that I liked.
Yeah.
So I haven't read it, but I'd like to. And I also wanted to read Ellie Kemper's book, My Squirrel Days, which we do have in the collection. So.
Retta had a book out. She's from Parks and Rec. So that's some Parks and Rec alumni as well.
Yeah.
So close to being y'all don't even know.
Now, I haven't read...
Eric Idle.
Yeah, Eric Idle. I haven't read Tiffany Haddish's Last Black Unicorn. I've heard that it's, because it's like a autobiography, that it's definitely, she's had a rough life.
Yeah.
So some of it is not funny. I loved the David Sedaris book, Calypso.
Mm-hmm.
And while it certainly was funny, I don't know that overall I would categorize that as humor.
Oh.
Some of his books, Me Tuck Pretty One Day, Dress Your Family in Corduroy Denim, are like, you'll drive off the road listening to those. They're so funny.
Right.
This was a lot more, he's like very reflective and looking back on his life and his family and like growing older. It's more, I don't know. I don't know that if you're not a David Sedaris fan, I don't know if picking up Calypso is going to win you over, because I felt very, I said when I reviewed this earlier in the year that it was like catching up with an old friend, and that's really what sold it for me. If you're not familiar with his family and like everything that goes into that, I don't know that you'd find it in here. So I think this is for David Sedaris fans.
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend this as your first David Sedaris. I would say for that, go meet Talk Pretty one day.
Right. All right. Springfield Confidential, the Simpsons book, is on here, and I've heard it's got like 4 stars on Goodreads, but I feel like I've heard mixed things about this.
I've heard almost nothing about it. I don't think it made much of an impact.
Well, Nick, you don't know anything about The Simpsons.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So,
I guess you're right. All right, take a look at nonfiction.
okay.
Chime in if anybody's got one of these in here that they read or interested in. I can tell you that the second place book here, Girl Wash Your Face, is the one that we've had the most requests for. So Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis has definitely been a popular one here.
Who's Rachel Hollis?
I don't know.
Oh.
And then I'll Be Gone in the Dark, a posthumous release by Michelle
winner.
McNamara about the Golden State Killer. That took the win, and it's certainly been a lot of interest in it, the topic. And
Reese Witherspoon is in 4th place with her book. So
Whiskey in a Teacup, and 3rd place, the Bob Woodward book on Donald Trump, Fear Trump in the White House. To the top there. A lot of other political ones in here. Nothing really jumping out as too exciting for me.
Sorry, everybody.
Memoir and autobiography.
So why isn't Reese Witherspoon's book here? I don't understand
I don't know. Maybe
things.
it's not a memoir.
It's by her, about her life.
Yeah.
Go on.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's a
Go
memoir.
on.
The winner of this is Educated. By
You wanted to read this.
By Tara Westover, yeah. And this is one, I know within our system there's been a lot of book clubs and things on it. It was on Barack Obama's list. So it's one that's gotten a lot of attention. So it makes perfect sense to me that this would win. I think Becoming by Michelle Obama is in 2nd place. That is a pretty tight race there. I think that if had this come out earlier in the year, this probably would have won because
more people would have read it.
It's been everywhere. A lot of anticipation about this book.
Sally Field is in 3rd place
with a huge drop off. A difference of about 35,000 votes.
Yeah. Well, a popular 70s actress compared to
Michelle Obama,
the previous first lady.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love Sally Field.
Was I right? Was saying 70s?
Yeah.
Was the height of her popularity?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
At least the height of her movie career, I would say.
Okay.
Into the
Sally
80s,
Field.
Anyway, I love Sally Field. She reads the audiobook. I was really excited about this. I started this and got decently into it and just was not interested. I just couldn't get it. A lot about her mother and her family, which kind of similar to Diane Keaton's book. It just wasn't the aspect of her that I was interested in.
Right.
I read the James Comey book, but it was stupid. I didn't vote for it. It didn't give you any information that you don't already know if you have a Twitter account. So nothing of real interest there. History and biography, so a little different from memoir and autobiography.
I guess, yeah. Even though it's a biography that won.
I mean, the Fred Rogers book won.
Yeah.
So how can you argue with Mr. Rogers? The Good Neighbor: The Life and Works of Fred Rogers took the top there.
Did this Robin Williams book have no publicity? Because I have not heard of it until now.
Yeah.
And it's hard to imagine that a race between Mr. Rogers and Robin Williams is like so steep. Because it's like 20,000 different.
Yeah.
And it's just like nobody showed up.
Yep.
Anyway, that's a little sad.
Pretty big jump there. I wanted to read The Monk of Mocha by Dave Eggers. That looked interesting to me. Nathaniel Philbrick's In the Hurricane's Eye. He's a historian that always is popular with readers, as well as Doris Kearns Goodwin and her book Leadership in Turbulent Times. She's done a whole series on presidential history, and they're always well received. Much fewer votes in this category as we get lower down the list here.
All right. Science and technology. The winner is The Rise and Fall of the Dinosaurs by Stephen Brusette. I never finished this.
Yeah. Eric's stirring recommendation on this was he always read it before bed because it helped him fall asleep.
Yeah.
He said it as if it was a good thing, but I don't think the author would have taken that.
Half of the book is like about dinosaurs. This is what dinosaurs probably did. This is how they probably ate. This is how they hung out with each other and threw parties. But then the other half was just about like the writer going around the world and talking to people like as they're digging up dinosaur bones. But it's like a description of them. Like, this is the type of cocoa this guy used. This was how much pepper he has in his beard. And it's a big book already.
Yeah.
And it's like, we picked this up because we want to read about the dinosaurs, not because of this wise man that you met, on the Nile, who helped you learn to love again.
I hear you.
So, spying on whales. This Michu Kaku, The Future of Humanity. I remember I almost picked this up.
Yeah, that actually did look really interesting.
It looks
about
interesting.
terraforming and that.
But it also might be a bit too hopeful for my taste right now.
Lord knows we don't need hope right now.
Yeah. And then
second place was Stephen Hawking's posthumous release, Brief Answers to the Big Questions.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at. Well, let's just
budget. What? But it was budgets. He explains why Spider-Man 4 didn't happen.
Oh, I see.
So people, the big question: why didn't Sony do Spider-Man 4?
The winner for Best Food and Cookbooks was Cravings, Hungry for More by Chrissy Teigen.
I don't know nothing about this.
Yeah, I don't either.
All right.
Graphic novels and comics.
Yeah. This one is one of those, like, it's always the same titles. Though Adventure Zone is new here. Little Moments of Love is new here. But Little Moments of Love and Herding Cats, they're just webcomics.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's more like a comic strip. I wouldn't really put that in graphic novels.
This would be if the new Garfield collection was on the list.
Yeah. So,
but, I mean, Sarah Scribbles is hilarious. And The Little Moments of Love is very funny. Saga came in. Saga is in third place. I mean, that's volume 8, though. And then you have Ms. Marvel, which is also volume 8. Paper Girls is a lot lower this year than normal.
Yeah, that was my vote. I liked Paper Girls.
Adventure Zone.
I did want to read Fence as well. Fence Volume 1.
Yeah, Be Prepared by Vera Brosgol, who wrote Anya's Ghost.
Okay.
Was very good and got me a little choked up.
Oh.
Made me realize I have heartful memories of summer camp. It's not that I have a heart. And then Monstrous Volume 3. This series is coming out slowly, it feels like. But we have the first 2 volumes in our collection, and I keep checking them out and then not reading them because they look very heavy. So that's all.
Okay.
So Herding Cats by Sarah Anderson won Best Graphic Novels.
Yeah. And I don't think that it's a graphic novel. But
so
anyway.
The next book is
poetry.
Wow, geez.
I
bet you don't think graphic novels are literature.
I do. In poetry, we have a repeat winner, Amanda Lovelace.
Yeah.
She won last year for Women Are Some Kind of Magic, and this year she's winning for The Witch Doesn't Burn in this one.
Yeah. This is Nick's autobiography.
Couple authors that you're familiar with in here, Eric.
Oh.
Kwame Alexander.
Yeah.
Was nominated for Rebound. Jason Reynolds nominated for Everyone. Any of these in here do anything for you guys?
The Poet X has been popular. Rebound, a little less popular than his other ones, at least
Kwame
here.
Alexander's, yeah.
Yeah, and the Everyone, Bloodwater Paint. I remember we had a request for that.
Oh.
I didn't have it in our collection, but now we do. So yeah, I don't read poetry. Kate, do you read poetry?
I don't. I really need to get outside of the YA fantasy genre a little bit, apparently, because I'm going through these going, no, don't have that one.
April
Never heard of that.
April is National Poetry Month, so I always try to read 1 or 2 collections. But that's outside of that, I usually don't. But it's nice to, I try to do it during that time.
Yeah.
Best debut.
And I hate poetry.
I know you do.
Hey, it's okay.
Best debut author. A couple in here that I read and enjoyed were The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn, which was my vote for this. I also really enjoyed An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. Either of you interested?
I need to read. I want to read There after we talked about it on
the
which awards?
Tommy Orange.
Yeah. And then I don't know what else is on here. Children of Blood and Bone, which won, is the winner of the debut, has been very popular. And that is a young adult fantasy title.
Okay.
So I'm always surprised to see, like, this is the best young adult book, but it's in somewhere else.
Yeah.
But
well, debut
this
author
is debut
covers
author.
A lot
Yeah.
of things. Yeah. There's a lot of.
And then the Tattooist of Auschwitz has been doing well. So, and I guess maybe the Kiss quotient must be better than I would have thought, because it's here.
The Kiss quotient. That.
Yeah.
Yep. That won the
It's
romance.
here in fourth place.
Again, the Map of Salt and Stars by Jennifer Zenyeb Jukadar is in here as well. And that's on my list of 2 reads. All right, young adult fiction. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
Right, this is fiction, because young adult gets 2 sections. It gets fantasy and sci-fi, and then it gets fiction.
All right, Kate. What of these have you read? Anything in here?
No, it's all
We're
the
in
fantasy.
your zone.
I
We're-
read
oh,
the
you're in the
fantasy.
fantasy. Okay,
not
that's
the,
all right.
Not the regular
Well,
fiction.
I was really interested about in the second place winner here, which is Sadie by Courtney Summers. I picked this up and flipped through it, and I'm still planning to read it. I got the audiobook, and it's one of those ones that sometimes it's dialogue, sometimes it's a different perspective. It's really hard to follow audio style. So
Do you think it'll be easier if you get a
I do
hard
because
copy of it?
the formatting in the book tells you like now this is something different, but in the audiobook I was like, wait, what? Who is this?
That has
so
to be difficult.
I do want to read it. I'm going to go back for that. That is in second place. Anything on here, Eric, that stands out to you?
What stood out to me the most was I did pretty good this year in buying my books.
Yeah, that's
because
good.
sometimes what happens is we read the young adult fiction. I'm like, crap, I only have 2 of these. Nope, I got lots. The Cheerleaders has been popular by Kara Thomas. Love, Hate, and Other Filters. And The Case for Jamie, you don't want to talk about. That's Brittany Carvalho. That's the Watson and Holmes,
Oh,
the
yes.
Charlotte Holmes series that
Yes.
you think is. Cassie West is very popular. Love Life and the List. She's also it seems like she puts out 2 books a year. Pudding. This is the sequel to Dumplin', which now has a new movie on Netflix starring
cool.
Jennifer Aniston, and Dolly Parton just put out a soundtrack for it.
Wow.
So it's about an overweight daughter of a beauty pageant star,
Oh.
and she's going to put on a beauty show.
I see.
So yeah, I heard it was going to be a movie, but I didn't realize it was Netflix. So
Yeah, I've seen the movie covers and things for the book.
yeah, so and I went to go see if we have it, and it's our copies are checked out.
Yeah.
So it's getting a
Well, we should get the movie cover then. I always like having the movie cover. I know.
Save the Date by Morgan Matson. She's been becoming more popular. She wrote The Unexpected Everything.
Okay.
And then we have some sequels. The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy is the Vice and Virtue from last year.
Okay.
Sadie, like you said, is in second place. First place is Leah on the Offbeat, which isn't a sequel, but it's by the author of Simon versus the Homo Sapien Agenda, which became the Love, Simon movie.
Such a dull title compared to the original.
Yeah, but I guess the movie did okay.
Yeah, I think it
so. I think, yeah, but people seem to really like Love, Simon. And then
The book or the movie?
I actually heard more about the movie than the book. So
Yeah,
there
I
you go.
think I did too.
And then, yeah, Lee on the Offbeat. Has seemed pretty steady.
Yeah.
So there you go.
All right.
All right, I'll give the mic to Kate. Don't
Let's do
even
it.
address me during this stuff.
Best young adult fantasy and fiction. Well,
Hey,
I
I might
know,
have an opinion here.
Kate, you're familiar with the winner.
I am.
You want to tell them who the winner is?
The winner is Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas.
Yeah, which we hit on in the beginning of the show, which Kate is
Yes.
desperately trying to finish right
Yeah,
now.
I would really like to pass it on. I feel like other people might want to read it, maybe even a little bit more than I do.
Wow. It's kind of, I mean, this is her 4th year in a row winning,
Is it?
basically, for this series. So
Yeah, I'm not really surprised. I do like the Court series better, actually,
okay.
than the Assassin ones.
The Court series, we moved to adults,
Oh.
the adult section, after a Court novella came out, and we're like, huh, well, we'll let the adults find. Never mind. All right. And so, yeah. But she's in here twice because Court of Frost and Starlight is here as well.
I see Veronica.
Which was the filthy novella.
Veronica Roth, the Carve the Mark series, did make it in here, book number 2.
But we haven't
So,
heard good things about that,
All
have
you
we?
fans of Lazmat, you can come back and read it there. I tried to read the first one.
Yeah,
I wasn't a fan.
no.
I read Divergent, but I didn't read any of the other of that series.
I read the
either, and I didn't
Divergent
really
series, but it went downhill for me,
Did it?
so I didn't want to pick this one up, really.
The third place is Holly Black for The Cruel Prince. I've not read this. I enjoyed the Spiderwick Chronicles. But
Yeah, Spiderwick Chronicles were good.
I haven't
I'm good
read
with that.
any of her other things.
I want to read The Children of Blood and Bone. I haven't picked it up yet. That's another big one, though.
Yeah.
That's a really long
Yeah.
book.
We got Brandon Sanderson on here with Skyward.
And there's Susan Dennard, the Sight Witch book down there. I've read a couple of those. They're all right, too.
Oh, I remember that series.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Anything you want to say, Eric?
Skyward is pretty new, so I wonder if that's a case of if it had come out sooner. I'm sure it wouldn't beat Sarah J. Maas,
Yeah.
but I wonder if it would be higher on the list because
Yeah,
it's pretty
possibly.
low. Dread Nation, I thought would be higher because I've been hearing a lot more about that and it's been popular. Anne Marie Lu, because she stays pretty popular, but I mean the people voting. Kingdom of Ash, it's often described as like a young adult Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So like you look at the books that are on the top young adult, and I wonder there's probably more adults voting here
Probably.
than teenagers. So anyway, there you go. Anything else, Kate, you want to say about the fantasy sci-fi section?
No, I think we covered it. I do like Marie Lu. I'd probably pick up her other books. I read the Legend series. The Legend, right? Yeah, Legend. Yeah. So that was a good one. I enjoyed her series of that. But so I've read a few of the authors on there, but not all of the new ones. I tend to pick up the old ones first and cruise through them.
Best middle grade in children's has a real snooze fest of a
Yeah,
winner.
Trials of Apollo by Rick Riordan. Okay. I mean, I guess this is the last book in the trilogy, so maybe there's that. But, I mean, you have some interesting stuff here. You have City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. You have The Magic Misfits, which is the new book by Neil Patrick Harris. And you have a Rick Riordan Presents Aru Shar and The End of Time by Rashi Chosky, who wrote some young adult series, the Earth is Gold book or whatever, I can't remember. So it is kind of dull to have like the Trials of Apollo here as the winner.
The last of the Penderwick series is in here.
Yeah,
by Jean Birdsell.
I guess people like that. Yeah.
The only one on this list that I've seen repeatedly and think like, oh, I want to pick that up is Willa of the Wood, which is book one of a series by Robert Beatty. Are you familiar with this, Kate?
My daughter actually read Robert Beatty's other series.
Okay.
And now I'm blanking
I'm not
on
familiar
it.
with them, so I can't help you.
Oh, I don't remember now. But yeah, I wanted to pick that one up for her because she loved the other series. I also saw the Kate DiCamillo Louisiana's Way Home.
Yeah.
That's on a prediction list for the Newbery. So I picked that one up and hope to read through that one here soon.
Okay. Yeah, not a ton of stuff. I think I picked up this Neil Patrick Harris book because I kind of liked that the Jason Segel The Nightmares book. I kind of thought maybe it'd be in the same vein. I didn't get very far in it. I didn't really take to it, but
that's too bad. That one did look cute too.
Yeah, I did.
Have you read the Penderwicks?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either. They seem so hugely popular.
They
but
do.
I haven't picked them
I
up
know.
yet.
I recognize them all. I'm like, oh, it's that book series
Right,
that I've
yeah.
never read.
So at least somebody's doing a good job. Illustrator, cover design, something.
I guess so. Yeah. All right. Best picture book.
Oh, hey, I'll just keep the mic for this one.
Yeah, I guess so.
And I'm with Eric this year. I think I did a pretty good job. I've got at least half of the ones that are on the final list here.
I've checked out most of them, so I can vouch for that fact. All right, well let's talk about the winner. I Am Enough by Grace Byers and Katura A. Bobo. Yeah, I don't know. This is not the one that I would have picked, but okay.
Not my first choice, no. But after reading, because this isn't one that I had in our collection yet. It is ordered now, but I like the inclusivity of it. Mm-hmm. You had all shapes and sizes and races and different abilities. So, I mean, that was great, and it was simple. It gave parents, it's a nice tool for parents to discuss accepting yourself and being who you are. So I liked it for those things, but I don't think it really struck me as the most profound on this list either.
Yeah, the second one, too, is kind of I don't know. It's okay. The second one is A Day in the Life of Marlon Bundo by Jill Twiss. And that
was a close one, only a couple hundred votes.
It was
difference there.
Yeah. This one is basically a spoof on a book that was written by the Pence family about Mike Pence's pet rabbit. Yeah. So I read both of them actually. I read the Mike Pence one and I read this the John Oliver spoof here. And I think what disappointed me most about, have you read this?
I read the Marlon Bundo, yes.
The Pence one or
no, not the Pence, the
HBO
spoof.
one.
Yes.
I kind of thought like I get what they were doing, but I think they could have gone a step farther and actually made it like feel more like a real children's book. I don't think that
make it its own story kind of.
Yeah, I think where it really faltered was when it had to like take shots at like the political side of things.
That doesn't make it a kid's book to me. It's not a picture book.
Exactly.
It's a punchline.
I would put this in like adult humor.
Yes.
And I think that it really could have been a children's book without much. So I think it's a missed opportunity more than anything.
That was a little too bad.
And I didn't think it was funny.
No.
So
no.
It was kind of a nothing. Little Leaders, Bold Women in Black History. I think it's a great resource.
Absolutely.
But it's not a great like
Not a good
picture book.
read.
No, it's not,
No.
because it's really like it's really like a little encyclopedia.
Yeah.
I would say.
Which I've ordered a few of those, and I like having them.
Yeah.
I like having them on hand, but for a picture book category, it doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't fit
It's
for
not.
me.
I don't think it's one you'd sit down and read to a child,
No.
like start to finish. It might be one where you read a chapter
A
a night
snippet
or
or
something and
two,
just
yeah.
sort of. So I think it is a valuable resource, but I don't think it's a great picture book.
Yep, I agree.
In here, let me tell you some of my favorites.
Yeah.
They are Hello Lighthouse.
Yeah, that one was pretty
I
good.
really liked about a couple living in a lighthouse.
The
That's by
illustrations
Sophie
were
Blackall.
beautiful.
They were. I also really liked Ocean Meets Sky by Terry Fan. This is about a boy basically coming to grips with the death of his grandfather.
You know, I think I missed that one.
Oh, really? That was pretty good.
Yeah, that's too bad.
I loved Baby Monkey Private Eye
I haven't gotten that
by
one
Brian
yet either.
Selznick. It's pretty fun.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right.
The one that I voted for, and I don't know if I would still hold that true, but was Drawn Together by Min Lee.
I liked that one because of how unique.
Yeah,
it
I agree.
was.
I agree. The story of this one is basically a young boy goes to meet his grandfather. They don't speak the same
Language
language.
barrier, yeah.
Turns out they both draw, and the boy, of course, has like big, colorful illustrations where the grandfather has pen and ink, more traditional sort of illustrations, and they come together within the story, and it's really.
Yes.
I think it's a really good way to tell the story.
I thought it was gorgeous.
Yeah,
Absolutely
I agree.
gorgeous.
I agree.
I
Those
really
are my
liked
favorites.
The Rabbit Listened.
Yep, that's
too.
good.
It was so simple,
Yep.
but it's that message of, you don't necessarily need anything. Sometimes you just need someone to be there and
Yeah.
listen. And I think that's, in this age of action, we need to take action on
Yeah.
something. Sometimes it's good to just be. So I liked that one for that message.
Yeah, I think
too.
this was a pretty good collection overall, and I'm fine
Yeah.
with I Am Enough winning. I think there were more unique, more interesting books.
It
but
had a very clear message.
does. It
Which I
does.
think is
Yeah.
probably what people latched onto.
yeah,
So.
I agree.
And that's good. It was a good message.
I
And
don't know.
didn't
There's,
enjoy
there's
it
a lot of
overall.
these I could talk about. I really liked Word Collector. I was
Yeah.
pretty disappointed by Love by Matt De La Pena.
That one didn't really hit home for
No,
me
and he
either.
just won the Caldecott Newberry for Last Stop
Yes.
on Market Street.
Yes.
One of the few picture books to do that. So
Yep.
I thought as a follow up to that, it was pretty disappointing. But
Yep.
overall, I think it's a pretty good collection of picture books in here.
I agree.
So we did not talk about. I'm sure it probably feels like we talked about every single book on this list, but we did not. So if you're interested, you can go to Goodreads.com/Choice Awards and see all of the nominees and all of the winners. See all the ones that we didn't talk about. Because it was, I think overall I was kind of like, nothing on here has really been like, oh, I have to read that book. And most of the winners I feel kind of like whatever about, but I think it is still good. It's valuable, I think, professionally for us to see this and see
Right.
what's at least getting a lot of votes, what's in people's minds. I don't think this year is a particularly good batch of books.
All right.
Well, maybe that's just me. All right. Well, I'm sure this has been the longest episode in the world. So let's.
It is long, and I do need to go.
Yeah, let's quickly just do some upcoming library events. So we have the Andover Ecumenical Choir coming in the auditorium Friday the 14th at 7 o'clock. Creek Bend Band, one of our annual favorites, is coming back for a Christmas show on December 20th.
Yay.
That's the big stuff we're doing right now. Book clubs are currently reading Mr. Dickens and His Carol and What Alice Forgot by Leanne Moriarty.
All right.
Children's Room.
All right. This Monday we have our Project Pen Pal coming up, where we will write some letters that we are exchanging now with Genesee Valley Central School. There's a teacher over there that is going to have a couple of her students write back to us. So if you have a kid that is interested in making a new friend or even just writing, stop on by 6 o'clock in the picture book room. Tuesday, we're going to have a special Hanukkah story time. Even though we couldn't get our friend Paige Timberlake here to do a Hanukkah story time during Hanukkah, she's willing to come for an informational story time on Tuesday at 6 o'clock, also in the picture book room. And then we have another couple of weeks of story time, and then we will do a very merry unstory time. Some passive programs, sensory play, whatnot in the picture book room. That's the 27th and 28th. We will make some Happy New Year kind of crafts. And on the 3rd and 4th, we'll do winter crafts and sensory play.
Nice.
And then we'll get back going with the alphabet again.
Cool. And Eric, we've got Santa Claus coming Thursday the 13th.
Yeah, Thursday the 13th at 6 to 8. It's the Chamber of Commerce of Wellsville. They put on a pictures with Santa and a cookie contest night. So you can bring the kids. They can get their picture with Santa, and you can vote on a whole bunch of different places. A bunch of businesses have cookies that they bring. And you can eat and vote on who has the best
sounds
cookies.
like a delicious
Yeah.
evening.
And then we have only 2 more Wednesdays left, not because the year's just ending, but because I'm going to like California.
Yes, I remember.
So to Wednesday the 12th at 5:30 is teen night, but that's the big Super Smash Brothers night. And then the 19th is the last teen night as well. And we're going to do kind of a Yankees swap with some anime loot crates.
Nice.
And then what day are we showing Polar Express? Because that's like the big thing we do.
Yeah, our annual showing of Polar Express is going to be December 28th.
Okay.
At 10 a.m.
Okay.
We've got a lot of Christmas and holiday themed movies coming up, all on the website. You can check out.
All right. And then that's it.
Yep.
All right.
Kate, thanks for joining us against
having me again.
your protests. Thanks for sticking with us. And that's going to do it for this episode. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, real sad at the end, man. Oh wait, we're still live. Hi everybody.
Hi everybody.
I mean, he did get real sad at the end. I think everybody saw that.
No, I think I'm
All
fine.
right. All right. And as for the stream, everybody have a good day as well. Good week.
Yeah,
Good holidays. That will be we still got some more episodes to go.
we do. Yeah,
So-
keep talking.
Yeah. Oh, you were joking.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Okay. See you later.